Chump Kim here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And P.S. and by the way, before I get started, you can follow me on Instagram. And you know what? I'm gonna do something I've never done before. Let's see. Okay. I haven't never done this before, but I'm doing it anyway. Oh shit. Never mind. What's up, John? Ah, man. We're gonna talk about monogamous relationships. The illusion of monogamous relationships and cheating. You know, yeah, I know. It's hard, man. You know. you know, when it comes to monogamous relationships, um, it's really tough, man. it's really tough being with one. I'm talking my experience. I'm gonna talk me for about 5 or 10 minutes. It's hard for me personally to stick with one woman sexually. You know, now it's not hard for me to be in a relationship with one woman. Uh, no, not at all. It's hard for me and most guys that I know to be with one woman sexually, just one. So that means I'm going to get married to a woman, and we're going to be live happily ever after, and I'm going to be strictly monogamous with her and only her. You know what? I don't know too many guys just like that. I know a lot of guys that are married. I know a lot of guys have been married for a long time. That doesn't mean they've been faithful strictly with their wife for 10, 20, 30 years, 50 years. Usually doesn't work like that. Put it up there. It is a good fight. It usually doesn't work like that. It usually works like this. After being together for so long, and if they're in it to win it, if they're going to continuously be together in the future, what's going to happen is they're going to have to make adjustments. Something got to give. Someone has to compromise. Not compromise. Someone has to cooperate. That's the right. That's a better word. Someone has to cooperate. It's a give and take. So as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, as long as she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, every once in a while, hey, you can go out, have a good time, and come back home. That's what it is. That's what happens out here. Because people are gonna change over the years. Some people are gonna get sick. All kind of stuff going on. with people once they've been together for so long. Keyword come back. Yeah, they come back home. Yeah. Yeah, I asked a lady a couple months ago. She been married for what, 25 years. So I asked her, hey, what's your secret being married for so long? She said, hey, when I leave, I come back home. That's what she said, man. She leaves, she come back home. She said, that's it. So she said, when I'm out here, I do what I do. I'm careful about who I do it with, and I come back home. So I said, damn, that's it? Said, yeah, that's it. So I gotta respect that. Man, she was a G about it, man. And she ain't nobody special. She's just she was bold to talk to me about it. That's all. That's all it was. She just talked to me about it. The game was cold. Cold. Yeah, yeah. And plus, her husband, he's sick. Her husband had a stroke like 2 years ago. He never really recovered from that shit. Plus, he got high blood pressure. Plus, he's a diabetic. And she's a diabetic too. So my man, he's sick. You know, he can't rise to the occasion if he got high blood pressure and he had a stroke. So come on. You know, she got to get that thing covered somewhere else, man. That's just what it is. I mean, hey, man, you don't got to like it. And I know, I met the guy. I met her husband. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I could tell he's a good guy. But what he's going to do? He's sick. And they're in the 50s. So what he's going to do? Leave? Be with another woman? He can't even get up with the woman that he got. So it's like, this shit happens to people when they get older, depending upon what kind of lifestyle they were living, you know, and the environment that they grew up in, and the environment that they're still in might not be the most healthiest environment in the world. This shit happens, man. You know, so it's not about how you feel all the time. It's just what it is. You know, see, one thing about a lot of the younger girls, they don't understand this shit. But a lot of these young girls gonna get their wake up call when they hit 40s, 50s. That's when they get their wake up call, and some of them get their wake up call in their 30s. See, a lot of these young girls, you hear them talking, I would never do this, I would never do that, because a lot of these young girls, they still dreaming. They still got living in that fantasy world. They think everything's supposed to be like they read in them novels and in the magazines. That's It's a lot of smoke and mirrors out here, you know. And sometimes, depending on what type of guy you are, let's say you get married in your 20s or in your 30s. And you've all been married for 5, 10 years, but you have that urge in you. It's so strong. It's going to take you over. You have to have more, different sex with another woman. But you don't want to sneak around, right? So you reached a breaking point where it's like, I got to say something to her, but I don't want to sneak behind her back. So I gotta. So you sit down with your woman, and you, I guess, say what's on your mind, and she ain't okay with it, but she's open to other possibilities, right? Now this shit, it doesn't happen a lot, but it happens, you know. And see, a lot of guys um don't believe or afraid that if they really tell a woman what's really on their mind, that she's gonna, flip out or, you know, probably want out or leave or whatever the case it may be. Now, if that's the case, if you can't tell your woman what's on your mind, y'all don't need to be together. If you can't be yourself around anybody, y'all don't need to be together. Y'all should have never got together in the first place. That's a problem right there. If you can't be yourself around your whoever you're supposed to, whether your friends, family, or whoever, if you can't be yourself, you shouldn't be. You need to go somewhere else. If that's the case, and a lot of times that's the problem. A lot of people put up a facade. A lot of people are pretenders. They're trying to be somebody else and not themselves. So that has a lot to do with it too. This is why a lot of people will sneak around. They'll sneak around. Matter of fact, some people, they'll have the whole thing planned to sneak around, even when they get from the beginning, before they even get with somebody in a relationship or a marriage. Their whole intent was to sneak around. Now, I don't recommend anybody sneak around. Not in today's time. It's just too much time. It's too much risk, and it's too much diseases out here. So I always say, man, if you feel like you've been with this woman, you're in a monogamous relationship, and you just know you got to have the urge in you is strong. Maybe you have some type of temptation with somebody at the job or the girl that's, I don't know where the girl could be at, but there's always going to be some type of temptation. That's just human nature. Yeah, that's just human nature. If that's the case, you need to talk to your woman. If y'all in a monogamous relationship, don't sneak around. Don't do it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I've done that shit when I was in my 20s. I snuck around, dipping and diving and hiding. It just takes too much energy, man. I got to a point where I was like, I'm gonna just be honest, man. I'm just be honest. I ain't got time to be sneaking around and acting like I I I, I like you and only you. No. I got to have more than one woman. That's just what it is. You know, that's just what it is. I'm not gonna be with you for 20 years of my life, and all of a sudden, if you get sick and maybe you all dried up, I don't know what happens to women, but some women get sick and they have problems, and if you can't deliver, I'm supposed to go without. No, that's just crazy. No, no. So I'm not going to be sneaking around. I don't think anyone else should be sneaking around either. Because number one, it's dangerous out here. A lot of these guys are crazy. These guys will kill you if if they find out that you sleeping with their woman that's married or whatever the case may be. So don't even I say don't even get caught up in none of that madness. You should just be honest to tell your woman, look, this shit ain't working out in the sack. you know something got we have to come to some type of solution to this problem. And that's just a part of life, man. That's just a part of life. It happens to damn near every couple at some point. I'm gonna say a good 80% of couples. It happens at some point. If they stay together long enough. But these motherfuckers, they're not staying together that long. So, go figure. But if you stay together long enough, you're probably gonna have to make some type of adjustments. I can almost guarantee you're gonna have to make some adjustments if you stay together long enough. And sex is gonna be a big part of it. And you always got to keep in mind Sex to most women is a big deal, but a lot of times women will suppress their sexuality too. Women, they can do that. It's weird. They do it. Some women they'll just go it out, you know, and then women will turn on and turn off. I mean, they'll go it out for like I've heard 5 years, and then they'll turn it on for like another 5 years, 5, 10 years, while out, and they'll turn it off again. Yeah, I've talked to women about this. Guys, we don't do no shit like that, really. You know, not like that. It's like if a guy goes without sex, it's because mainly he can't get it, or maybe he on some type of medication, or he's sick or something like that. But women will turn that shit on and off like a water faucet. It's like it's kind of crazy if you really think about it, but it happens with a lot of women out here, especially older women, women that are grandmothers. They might be in the 50s, 60s. They'll go without sex months, years. They're taking care of grandkids or some shit like that. And then if they meet the right guy, then they'll turn that thing on. And they might go, they might go nympho with the sex thing. Now from a guy's perspective, that doesn't make any sense. How the hell you can go without sex for 5 years, 5, 10 years, then all of a sudden you meet this one guy and you want it all the time? That doesn't make any sense. But hey, man, some things aren't meant to be understood. But I say, man, hey, don't even start sneaking around, man. A lot of times, depending on what type of guy you are, if you tell your woman how you feel, you can work that shit out. And most of the time. But if your woman got all these conditions and all these rules that you put up with you, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It really ain't. But hey, the responsibility is really on you as a man. It's on you. Shit, that's what it is, man. You gotta lead. You gotta lead, man. Shit. Don't let women dictate to you how you supposed to be as a man. I know that's a new day and everything, 2018, but hey, man, we got to take our balls back. Some of us, we got to take our balls back. Damn, come on, man. It's ridiculous. John, it's hard for people, guys, women, to talk about this and have it happen. I don't think most people think long-term relationships. They probably don't, John. They probably don't. What up, Apple Mac? Dipping, diving, ducking. We're the gatekeepers for sex. We've been the gatekeepers. Marriage, guys. Ain't getting married. Yep, I always get bored of saying woman. I just get tired of the same shit. You feel me, Apple Mac? Yeah. You understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, that should get old after a while. Especially if you have it like often. Depends on how much access one has though. Yeah, that makes a big difference, Grand Admiral. Yeah. It depends on the options that the guy have too. Options and access. Yeah, a man that cannot even get a woman. Be happy with one woman, but if that one woman gives him breaks loose. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the guy. If a guy has If a put it like this, if a guy is used to being around a lot of women, one woman sexually for the rest of his life, that shit ain't gonna work. And if you take a look at some of these athletes and entertainers, do you really think they're gonna be with one woman for the rest of their life when they get married? The majority are not. That's all I'm saying. I was, but I ain't wrong to feel. No, you're not wrong to feel this that way, Apple Mac. No, you're not wrong. That's women try to shame us. They try to make us feel bad so we can get back in line. But check this out. They'll try to make us feel bad because of the way we feel, but then they're doing the same thing. Come on. They're doing the same thing. They're sneaking out too. What's really going on? Well, more it's more to you because they have. Yeah, women have more options than guys sexually, for the most part. You know, the man was much active want to try more options whether they can, unless that man just wants to settle down. So, yeah, I agree with that. Actually, the girlfriend accusing me of wanting to chat when the bitch was the one cheating. Well, they say if someone accuses you of cheating a lot, there's a good chance they're cheating too, or they have cheated in the past. That's that's what uh that's what I was told years ago, and it usually turns out to be true in most cases. You know, options in China, all those Asian hate and want to kill black people. I had way more sexual access with both of them. Yeah, so I had more power, all things in life, the back power. Yep, that's a good point. Now, now I believe some guys should be with just one woman. Yep, there's some guys should be with just one woman. There's some guys should be. There's some guys that should get married. Marriage is for some guys, just like marriage is for some women. It's like there's some women that should be with just one guy. You know, there's always exception to the rule. Problem with old chicks is that they can't take what they call rough sex. Pound them, like you disrespecting them. That's anyway. Just so then, well, damn, Apple Mac, how old are you talking about? I haven't ran into that yet. I ain't ran into that yet, man. Glad to be back in America for the money for the gym, though. Although I'm not going to be dating anytime soon. Not real well. I haven't ran into that. I haven't had that experience yet. Damn. But I've heard some younger women say that shit. Yeah, I've heard some young women say if you roughed them up too much, you see, you're treating me like a whore. I'm like, what? But I haven't heard that from older women, but I've heard that from the younger women. They're treating me like a whore. That's funny. Yeah, man, but you know. There's some people, there's some guys that should get married and be with one woman. You know, I think marriage is for certain types of guys. Even though marriage wasn't, I would say marriage within the context of how it is in America today is for it fits certain types of guys. Keep saying stuff and shit and saying shit like let me catch my breath. I'm like, damn, what you saying? Oh, she can't breathe. you, you're hitting it too hard, Apple Mac. If that's the case, out of shape. Yeah, she can't breathe. You hitting it. You got to slow down, man. It really kind of just sucks when you step back and look at things objectively. Yeah, sometimes the truth is hard to take. At least when you are in a class that has no power. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I done thought she can't breathe. I ain't hitting it. Hey man. This is why I think eugenics should be legalized locally. Uh, no, the slight promotion of that. Well, the reason why they lie a lot is because they got these big corporations and they want to capitalize off people's ignorance. You know, but anyone know? Most people, I don't think most people know how marriage even came about. Really, marriage was never for the working class people. It never was supposed to be for the working class people. But these big corporations found a way to capitalize off it and make bank. Well, it's complete racial separation of blacks from non-blacks. We cannot peacefully coexist. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, I agree. We have to separate. That's just my opinion, though. We have to separate. We have to force. We have to force people to deal with each other. That's the thing. See, people are not going to. Most people don't do what they have to do until they have to. That's how most people are. They don't do what they have to do until they have to do it, and they only do what's most important to them. So that so if that's why most people, if they don't have to do something, they don't do it. Or they'll take the lackluster, lazy. Let's give it a shot. That type of shit. They're not really committed. It's just like, hey, let's see how this goes. Go ahead and stick it like we have. What about common law? What about common law marriage? Dealing with other groups will always be negative. Yep. Our dealings with other groups will always be negative. No doubt about it. As a collective, yeah. You're always going to have a certain type of person that's going to have a different experience from time to time. But as a collective, there's always going to be a negative experience. I know this off topic, but let the young dudes know why the public school system started in America. Uh, you know, as far as on the college level, or what? On a college level, that college came about because these corporations had to get people trained. That's how the HBCUs came about. They fund the colleges, and in exchange, they got workers to work for the companies, these big corporations at the time, which were mostly banks. So it was like a monopoly. That's how that shit came about. That's why a lot of these HBCUs, the names are European names. Yeah, yeah. You know, back then it was like a lot of blue collar workers back then. It wasn't like it is today. Like, it wasn't so much, wasn't too corporate like it is today. That's why a lot of these colleges are going away because they don't need them anymore. They're closing down like shit, one a month. Fuck. Seems like every time I look around, some college is closing down. They don't need them anymore. Social media definitely led to the destruction of real relationships and all that almost salvation of order. Social media. I don't think social media has led to the destruction of relationships. I think social media has gave people the perception that I don't have to meet people in person anymore, or not as much. I think the destruction of relationships has it stems from the television, the magazines, the media, the propaganda. You know, social media came later. The media came first. The big, this shit started way before social media and the internet came up. Social media put a lens on structure and made it more. All right. Yeah, social media just blew it up, basically. But it was already there. The blueprint was already there. They just had social media just gave it, you know, a boost, easy access. The rich figured out that the masses were too dumb to operate the machines, and they started schools to train everybody just enough to be able to work. So, yeah, that's how it got. That was the whole concept, Apple Mac. You know, they didn't have enough people to work the jobs. That's why they started letting a lot of immigrants over here. And when a lot of these immigrants came over here, they were broke. They ain't had no money. They ain't had no skills even. So they started giving them free shit. And some of those people started going to school and they started getting benefits right along with the people that were already over here. And because the rich people look at it like, look, we ain't doing no work. We got the money. We'll fund all this shit. We'll build extra schools. We'll give y'all any fucking amount of money y'all want in exchange for workers. That was the payoff. But today, that game doesn't work anymore because they don't need any workers anymore like they did back then. It's a different game today because what has happened is the internet has given the disenfranchised or the people that didn't have a voice access. It's damn near equal playing field at this point. Nobody can really today. It's hard to stop a lot of people to do shit because there's no middleman anymore. It's still red tape out here, but it's like we don't really need a big record label anymore. You don't really need a big publisher anymore. I can write a book, start writing a book tomorrow, like I'm doing writing a book right now, and I'm going to probably in the next 2 months I'll have the book finished. I'll go get a editor, pay the editor a couple $100 to do that shit, and I'll find somebody to format my book. And in a couple months, I'm going to release it online. That shit was unheard of like 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, 100 years ago. You had to have a big publisher, and it would take thousands of dollars to get that shit released. And you we don't need them anymore. Somebody that's in a country like the Philippines, they can be living good just off profits working for somebody online. Somebody that's in butt fuck Arizona somewhere can be making a good living. That's what's happened today. They gave everybody free land, but yeah, we never got no free shit. Especially what's this inclusion of age women, the rise of age of culture, which makes don't have even more options than before. She is forced into having to date a black man moving down her option. Well, I mean, when they come to them, when any woman comes to America, she's gonna have more options automatically. That's just what it is. Free unearned benefits. So they don't got to sign for it. It's automatic. As soon as they come through immigration and they go through that process, you go down there and get your social security number. You're all set. They have more benefits in 1 week than I've had in my entire life living here. It's crazy, man. It's like it's like my nephew. My nephew, he's 23, and he still can't get a credit card yet. Still can't get a credit card. The way things going on, this black man make a major global move going to downward technology and end up being executed. That's why most TFL dudes, black guys, lean non-black guys, power easy access to all guys, especially like men tend to be stuck with black women, and if they don't swag or taste for what they can get, they'll starve. Very true. The best thing about older black can teach the kids early history that they teach in school. Well, I think when it comes to black men, I think we have to be well rounded, and you have to teach your kids history about. Not only do you have to, you not only should you teach your kids history about world history, you should teach history about your own family. I started learning history about my family first, and then I started venturing out to world history. You should learn about your family first. That's very important. Because if you don't understand where your own family came from, it's like it's going to be a disconnect. You know? Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. Yep. But most people that I know, they don't know where the hell their family came from. On either side, mom or dad's side, they don't know, have no clue. You know. So, I think I'm like one of the only people that I know. In my life, I met my great great grandmother and my grandmother on my mom's side. Most people can't say that. Now on my dad's side, I never had a chance to meet them because they were slaughtered, they were killed years ago. They didn't make it. You know, unfortunate, but they didn't make it. weaknesses I would support. The world watching all this. Oh yeah, it's called military science. Yeah, you're right. So is social borders and what is what do it back for the benefit. Black people did not know they play the game of power. Um, yeah, sometimes it gets a little frustrating, man, because with a lot of black people, what happens is we're we let anybody in. It's like a gift and a curse. So we're more human like we're more human than anybody else, any other group of people. See, other groups of people, they kind of like they like uh, they just don't see the value of human life. They don't respect it as much as we do. You know, that has a lot to do with it. So they basically they're trying to do whatever it takes for them to survive. That's that's where a lot of that shit stems from. You know, just like the nice guy and they get taken advantage of. Time for us to uncover the weaknesses and suffer the. Well, a lot of times, unfortunately, a lot of the nice guys are weak. They might be nice, but it's seen as weakness to women, especially black women. Because see, with black women, you like you cannot you you can't black women. I said like scientifically speaking, of the pure, they're the realists, right? You cannot take those concepts when you date Asian women, white women, or any of these other groups of women and apply it to black women. Most of that shit ain't gonna work. And with black women, you only get one shot. One shot. You show one weakness, you're done. That's just what it is. It ain't fair, but that's just what it is. Hey, son, did you get my email? You sent me an email? No, I didn't get it. I didn't get it, man. What was it about? Just like integrate other cultures. They said they take a lesson of survival and power. Yeah, integration was the worst shit that ever happened to us, man. That. It was just a bad idea. Check this out. It's fun. It's sad at the same time. Yeah, integration was the worst shit ever, man. It didn't work out, man. That's just what it is, man. It was about trading. Nah, I didn't get it, man. Send it again. Mongoro chicks, but just curious. Mongoro. Yeah, send it again, Apple man. I don't know why I didn't get it. Maybe it went to my spam folder for whatever reason. You know. You sent it through my website? Shit. Why didn't I get it? I don't know. Send it again. Send it again today. You know. That way I'll look for it. Yeah, but integration it just wasn't a good idea, man. For us. I'm serious. I mean, it's the worst thing that could have ever happened at this point, you know. But hey, you know, it was just a bad idea. But what I know is like when it comes to people, people only do what people. You have to force people to, you know, to work together. That's the only way, you know, anything is ever going to change. We have to separate. Have to. As long as a lot of black people have too many options, it's just I just don't see a lot of progress. It'll be some, but and it's going to be. And another problem is if you have a certain group of people in society, maybe you have 2 to 5 people, you and a couple of your buddies and a couple of women, then you become a target if you start making major moves because you can't protect yourself in most cases. Or if it's just you, let's take somebody like Floyd Mayweather. Like Floyd Mayweather, he's an easy target. He's an easy target. Who's got his back? Nobody. You know. So that's the problem. If it's just him, I know the Asian girls don't like black guys anyway, so I wasn't, fun life. Do what benefits them on at least one day. Yeah, exactly. If it's just, I'm like, no, I'm like by myself 97% of the time too. So if anything happened to me out here, I gotta handle it the best way I can until, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. It's crazy, but that's what it is. That's just what it is. Long time ago, a friend of mine was crazy about the red bra. This dude spent the night at a house, slept in the same bedroom. You know where he slept. And we asked him. This shit was so funny. Oh well, you know. But this if it's just you, you're vulnerable. If you're making mass moves, business, relationships, income, and if it's just you, you're at risk. This is why a lot of people, um, especially a lot of black people in this country, you ever pay attention if somebody builds something like an app or website, software, if they blow it up, right? All of a sudden, a couple months go by, all of a sudden, Google, Bing, Microsoft, Amazon, somebody will buy them out, right? And a lot of times they don't got no choice but to sell because they're gonna get it taken from them any goddamn way. So you can either take this money and sell and go about your life, go about your business, or we're gonna take it over any goddamn way. This shit happens. This is how people do. This is how real business is handled out here. You're like gangsters out here. Slept on the fucking floor on the side of the bed like a dog. Well, that dude, that's just stupid. I'm not sleeping. I mean, a lot of these guys will do anything, you know, if they think they're gonna get a taste of the pussy. That's just, that's just, that don't make no goddamn sense. You know, they ran them out of New York. Oh, okay. New York, New York. Trump does what? He's a clown anyway. Yeah. He's a clown. You know, Trump, he's a good example of what not to be as a man. Think about it. Instead of paying you, he takes you to court to make you settle for less. Oh, that's a lot of companies do that shit, man. What you think gonna happen with Starbucks? What happened with these guys? They're gonna pay those guys off because they don't want them to go to court. They're gonna settle outside of court. Man, yo, that shit happens like, my God, 99% of the time. So that's how they do business. 99% of the time, that's what happens. No, I didn't know that. What happened to the hotel? It ran out of money or what? That's probably what happened. It probably ran out of money. That happens. Doesn't happen a lot, but it happens. Trump, Trump. A lot of people don't respect him as a businessman. A lot of people that I know personally, they don't respect him as a businessman at all. And then he's like a hype man on a reality show. he create he's good at creating buzz, but he don't got no like business skills really. Yeah, they don't really respect him as a businessman, man. It's kind of like he just, I don't know. They don't really know how to describe him. I got a wake up call from Cali. Oh, what happened to you in Cali, Appleman? Oh, he don't like paying people. Oh, yeah. I've heard people say that. Yeah, I've heard people say that about Trump. I've heard a lot of people say that. Yeah, he don't like paying after the job's done. What happened to you, Appleman in Cali? I think I told you back what the hell do business with Trump. A lot of people do business with him, but these guys operate. They operate like they gangster with it, man. They play hardball. These guys act like they on the street, man. Advertising in the news. You couldn't get advertising in the newspaper. Why not? They wouldn't take your money. They kept fucking my shit up on purpose. They kept fucking your what you had in the newspaper. It was an ad or article or what? It was an ad. What newspaper was this? But the deal was a big predator owned them for years. So they had to get rid of them. So, did they give you your money back or what? And what were you promoting at the time? Just curious. No. Yes, yeah. I've heard stories like this in like magazines, not newspapers though. God damn, why you fucking the news? You fucking a newspaper up? That's like, oof, that's rare. Yeah, I know it happens in magazines, but in a magazine, if they mess up, they'll run it again the following month. Yeah, I'm from the hood, so I knew shit was up when I called them about messing up my ass. They didn't even put up what the deposit and you know, bigger ad for next week. Yeah, so that's what they usually do. They usually that's in my experience anyway. They usually they fuck that up too. Damn. So what they did after? So the second time, what did they say? What did they say about the second ad? Because they usually, if they screw up, they usually roll it over next week and do it again. But I never seen nobody screw up two times. God damn. This one, I don't know. Yeah, of course. What did they say after the second time though? Maybe they was messing up on purpose. I don't know. Shit. But same shit. And what happened the third time? God damn, it's too much, Apple Mac. That's third. They said three strikes a charm. Three strikes you out. Okay, they did it again. Messed it up. Yeah. So, damn. So what? So what happened after that? Did you get your money back? They did, or what? That's when I stopped fucking. Oh, so what? You just didn't call back no more? Or you just let it go, or what? No, never got money. Oh hell no, Apple Mac! You can't do that shit, man. Don't do that shit no more, man. No, you can stay on their ass. Fuck that. Don't do that shit. No, don't do that shit no more, man. You gotta stay on their ass. I don't give a damn. If I paid my money for ad, I don't care how much I paid. But if I pay my money for ad, I want this shit to be right, done right. And if y'all can't do it, I want my fucking money back. Period. End of story. That's how I get down. You know, I ran a magazine ad and they messed up the first time. And they corrected it and ran it the next month, following month. And I had no problems. You know, they didn't give me a hard time. I didn't think they was playing games, nothing like that. But if they can't deliver on what they promise, I want my fucking money back. Period, point blank. Yeah. A lot of people do play games out here. No doubt about it. But like I said, they can't deliver on what they're supposed to, I want my fucking money back. Period. I did what I was supposed to do. I gave them the ad the way I wanted it to look, along with the text, design, whatever. So I don't want to hear all this bullshit about, hey, you know, well, I'm sorry, we keep making mistakes and all this. Hey, man, look, what it's going to be? Are you going to deliver or you're not? If you can't deliver, I want a fucking refund. That's it. I didn't have to even do anything. I did it myself. Emailed it. Yeah, that's how I do it. You email the ad, design, or whatever. You know, if it's for a magazine, but if it's newspaper, you know, you got the headline and text and all that shit, good shit. Money back, I'll never get this. Dude, they kept fucking up my business number. Kept fucking up your business number. God damn. Well, hey, what newspaper was this? So I won't fuck with them. What newspaper was this? Why not? Who cares? Shit. Oh, Mike, this was before the internet? Or what? When was this? This is before the internet popped off? Oh, San Francisco, yeah, exposed. No. Oh, that was early. Okay, I get it. Early. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. The Guardian. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Hey, what you were trying to promote anyway? Yes, that's too much information. I got you. I got you. Yeah, well, I got you, I got you. Something like that. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I probably, you know what? Something like that. I wouldn't put that in the newspaper, man. I wouldn't put it in the newspaper. 2002, man. There was other ways you could have, other platforms you could have used online. Around 2002, you could have used other platforms online, other websites. Around that time. What do you mean it's cool up there? You didn't get it done. It took your money. No, all I'm saying is you online you could have got more bang for the buck. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. See, in 2002, you was online. Okay, but in 2002, it wasn't as strict as it is today. Today, it's a lot of restrictions online today. A lot of them, boy. Fuck. And you can't do shit. I remember 2002, man, you could sell anything online. Anything. Because they didn't really have no way of monitoring anything. Pitching to the local, down to advertising, local yelling. Fuck is that? Yeah. But there's a lot of, today is a lot of, it's a lot more restrictions. You know, it really is. When it comes to like, I had a ton of interest. I was over. Maybe you had too many interests, man. You had too many options, man. Yeah, a lot of times, man. I think offline advertising is much easier than online. That's just my opinion, though. Some people disagree with that, but I think offline is much easier, man. Because all you have is text offline. And man, energy back then. I was like 18 hours a day. 18 hours a day? God damn. Shit. You gotta get some sleep, bro. 18 hours a day. I can't do that shit either. Yeah. Everybody, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up, baby. Thumbs up. Shit. Like, yeah, man. Well, it's been real, as they always say. But hey, I'm about to sign off. So hey, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, Check out my Patreon. Check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, that's still here in the business. He was promoting. I don't know. All right, I'm out, fellas. Take it easy. Peace.